friends! Welcome back to my channel. This is Rara's K-pop spot. 안녕하세요 친구들. 내 채널에 다시 오신 것을 환영합니다. 이곳은 라라의 K-pop spot. It is currently Sunday, May 25th, a little after 9 p.m. in my time zone, and I told myself I wasn't going to do another one of these, but I am going to do another comeback reaction because tomorrow is May 26th. 17 has a comeback, their 5th full album, Birthday, and it's also their 10-year debut anniversary. So I'm waking up at 4 o'clock in the morning again to stream the comeback. I'll watch the music video. I will react to it once again silently because it will be 4 o'clock in the morning. So, same deal as last time. I will react silently and then I will come back later during the day and go through all of my thoughts, actually be able to talk about them. But anyway, based on listening to the highlight medley, I'm really excited for this comeback. I enjoyed every single snippet, I think, from every song. I also did wake up this morning and watch the live birthday stage that was under the bridge. So I did hear Thunder and Happy Birthday. Is it supposed to be Happy Birthday, the song title, or is it just HBD? Anyway, I heard those two new ones this morning when they performed them live. Really enjoyed them, so I am excited to listen to those two again. So I'll wake up, I will get everything set up, I'll watch the music video for the title track first, which I think the title is Thunder. Then I'll open up Spotify and I'll listen to the full album, which is 16 songs. I'm really excited that everyone got a solo for this comeback. I think that was really cool and a really great way to celebrate 10 years. Thankfully, Monday the 26th happens to be a national holiday in the US, so I don't have to work, so I've got that going for me. All right, I think I'm gonna go try to get about 6 hours of sleep, and then I will wake up and listen to some music, and it's gonna be a good day. Okay, just like last time, we are starting with a music video reaction, and also just like last time, the volume in my headphones was way too loud and scared the crap out of me, so I'm glad that I'm 2 for 2 on that. Everything was honestly pretty chill to start. You know, my chair dancing was kept to a minimum, which is surprising for how strong the opener of the song is. Honestly, what shook me the most was trying to decide if I thought Joshua actually said or not. Wonwoo on a motorcycle, you will always be famous to me. I am of the opinion that Mingyu's lines put some kind of spell on me, and that's what I'm blaming this terrible dance on. Okay, I'm kidding actually, it wasn't just Mingyu. I think the whole song just has me in some kind of trance, because I spent way too long just clapping in tiny into infinity like that to the beat. The trance was broken, however, when the chorus came in. I love this chorus, clearly, and I really like how 17 title tracks always have lyrics that you can pick up on super quickly. Hey, so my dancing has not gotten any better for those wondering from my last comeback reaction to this one. I am still begging on my hands and knees for anyone to teach me how to dance because watching this back is painful and I can't believe I'm actually putting this on the internet. Okay, bye. I really loved this scene where Vernon was playing both the doctor and the patient. I thought it was so funny, and it was maybe my favorite scene from the whole music video. No surprises here, I always love Coups' verses. A little smile and a nod for Minghao's verse here. Okay, let's give it up for round 2 of the chorus. I love this so much. I cannot tell you how many times I've listened to this song over the last week. At any given point in time, this song has been stuck in my head. Okay, and then here would be my reaction to the ending scenes of the music video. You can see that I'm super confused, maybe a little bit concerned. I was really trying to figure out if they killed DK in this scene, but maybe it relates back to how 17 has been born again, with the whole like new birthday theme that was going on with this comeback. Okay, final thoughts would be that I loved it. I thought that it was a very good song to dance to. And this would be me miming that I think I'm going to run on the treadmill to this song a lot. And now we will be moving into the rest of the album. Starting with number 1, we have HBD. I was instantly very into the guitar and honestly just the overall vibes and beat of the song here in the intro. And if you ever need someone to clap to the beat of a song, I am your girl because this is clearly my default setting. I was trying to say that I felt like this song reminded me of something here, but I got way too distracted by Vernon's verse. This reminds me a lot of early 2000s alternative pop, specifically thinking back on it now, like Blink-182, Paramore, Fall Out Boy, Jimmy Eat World. Honestly, bold of me to assume that I had the lyrics memorized after only listening to it one other time, but here's a little blooper of me messing up the lyrics. Anyway, fun song to dance to. I like how you can visibly see that I'm running out of steam here because it was, you know, just after 4 o'clock in the morning, but then Hoshi and Coups saved me with their boom brackets. I liked it a lot, and while I still haven't been able to identify exactly what I'm thinking it reminds me of, some strong contenders include All the Small Things, Dance Dance, The Middle, and Misery Business. And now we're reacting to Thunder again, but this time without the music video, so not getting distracted by any visuals, just focusing on the music. I was ready for this one. I was very excited to listen to it again a second time. You can see that I'm loving it even more a second time around. I'm literally turning the volume up. However, we had to pause the dance party because I had to figure out once and for all if Joshua was actually saying f or if he was saying something else. She's contemplating, she's listening, she's focusing really hard. All of her brain power is dedicated to this, but I finally was able to determine he was saying funked. 4 a.m. dance party for one, resuming. Very special thank you to Woozi and Bomju and Coups for their work on the composition that they did together for this song because I literally love this chorus so much. Something that I definitely appreciated more on a second listen through without the distraction of the music video were Vernon and Coups' verses being back to back in this part of the song. I think I say it best here when I say that Vernon and Coups back to back verses always hit. Watching this back, I am reminding myself a lot of that one episode of SpongeBob where the jellyfish are like having a rave. That's what I'm doing in this clip. Okay, you guys get it. I clearly loved it. I do stand by what I said here where I think the song just keeps getting better the more you listen to it. However, I do feel like I was bold thinking that this was my number one when I had only listened to 2 songs at this point. And now we're on to song number 3, which is Bad Influence. You press play and the song really just starts. You're just thrown right into it. The censoring here was a huge jump scare to me though, clearly. No, really, this took me out of the song so bad that I had to pause and evaluate what on earth was going on. I love that this is apparently my default thinking stance with the little fingers and everything. I came to the naive conclusion that perhaps it was just censored for Spotify and they would actually curse on the CD track, but unfortunately I was left disappointed in that regard. I love how serious I look here, and for why? The beat drops and I get super into it, however the little woos in my headphone kind of scared me a little. I was unaware that this song had come out earlier this year as part of the Louis Vuitton soundtrack, so this was my genuine reaction. I was minding my own business and then Vernon's just saying only fun shit is allowed, and then DK's saying what the f we doing? I was so shocked. I had not heard this song before, so these reactions are genuine. I'm actually glad I'd never heard this song before because these reactions are hilarious. This was me sleepy vibing and then Woozi said makes me want to get fucked up and suddenly I'm awake. I'm not sure why this continued to shock me so much though. I'm acting like I've never heard a single song in my whole life and I'm not aware that they repeat lines throughout. Initial thoughts were that I liked it. I specifically really loved the beat for this song. I am begging 17 to please release the explicit version somewhere because I think that I would enjoy that version a lot more. But anyway, now we are moving into solo reactions. First up for the solo tracks, we have the 4th song off of the album, which is Skyfall by The 8 or Mingyu. Opening notes of the song, and I'm not entirely sure why I started acting like a mime trapped inside of a box, but then Mingyu started singing and I was clearly very moved by how beautiful I found his voice in these opening lines. Beat drop hit me like a truck here, and then I was super into it if I wasn't already super into it at this point. I think that the visual that was shared with this song in the highlight medley video was perfect to represent
the way that the beat feels and sounds, if that makes sense. I just thought this was kind of silly, the way I look sad when Minghao says, now it's time to say goodbye, but then I'm like, yeah, whatever, alright, we're dancing again. I'm not sure why this second beat drop hit me so much harder than the first time, but look at me, I am literally taking the headphones and pushing them deeper into my ears. Final thoughts would be that I loved it, and the song felt kind of like a roller coaster to me while I was listening. Alright, now we've got song number 5 on the track list, which is Fortunate Change by Joshua. We have a shoulder wiggle stamp of approval early on and a little surprised face when the beat kicked in. I think that this smile really shows how I feel about the song. It had me just smiling from very early on, and when Joshua said, from the moment that you reached out your hand, I think I deserve an Oscar for this performance. I don't know, you can let me know in the comments. I thought that the confession moment in the lyrics was really cute. Clearly it surprised me. And then when the trumpets came in, it really added something special to the song. I feel like this video clip right here really sums up how I feel about the song just in general. And then when the guitar came in towards the end of the song, that added even more depth instrumentally to the song, which I really appreciated. I just overall really loved this song. Clearly, I guess it made me feel like my heart was exploding. And now for the 6th song on the track list, we have 99.9% by Wonwoo. This was not what I was expecting at all from Wonwoo's solo, but I loved this piano intro. That cannot be overstated enough. I think that my smiles here really tell you everything that you need to know about this song. It genuinely made me so happy as I was listening. I still stand by this. I think that this song belongs in a drama. If I close my eyes, I feel like I can almost see a scene playing out. I'm now taking votes for what I should call this dance. I think personally it kind of looks like a shark fin about to attack. Absolutely no surprises here. I clearly loved this song. I said that it makes me feel so happy, and I feel like if I'm ever sad, I could listen to this song and it will make me feel better. 7th, we have Raindrops by Seungkwan. And I realized that I did this hand motion for Skyfall, so I had to come up with something else for Raindrops, and I don't like it as much, but anyway, here's my reaction for this one. Initially, I was just sitting back and trying to determine what the vibe of the song felt like and really appreciating the instrumental intro. Initially, I thought that maybe the whole song was going to be this peaceful, but then the first high note came in after the opening verses, and I cannot lie, I didn't cry this first time listening to it, but I have since absolutely shed tears over this song. I think that Seungkwan's voice is so beautiful. He is one of my favorite vocalists across all of K-pop. I could also probably write an essay about how beautiful I think the instrumentals of this song are. I was simply blown away while I was listening. You know that the song's good when you have to hug yourself for comfort. Another Oscar-worthy performance here, honestly. Wow is right, rah-rah. This was incredible, and clearly I was very blown away by this song. I was at a loss for words. I'm still at a loss for words to convey how much I love this. Reaching the 50% mark in the album, we have the 8th song on the track list, which is Damage by Hoshi, featuring Timbaland. This callback to 96ers was such a surprise, and I loved it so much. Okay, I was pretty into this early on. I really loved the beat change, and when he says "my lady," that was very funny to me for some reason. I correctly guessed that the next lyric would be Damage, so A+ for me. However, I did get a little freaked out when that other voice started whispering in my ear, but overall I do think that I decided I liked this one until that voice came back and started repeating "burning to your mind's desire" over and over. I think my face is really giving me away. I cannot hide how I feel about that. It just kind of threw me off and sort of took away from my enjoyment of the rest of the song. This was the first song off of this comeback that I did not just simply love, and it really threw me into a crisis. I was literally distraught. I'm literally apologizing to Hoshi here and begging for his forgiveness because I feel so bad that I didn't like the song. However, I was really trying to rationalize it, and I'm like, it's okay. That was just the first time I've listened to it. I'll listen to it again, and maybe I'll like it more in the future. I thought about not including an intermission in my video, however, that would not be authentic. I had to take a break after the 50% mark. I had to hydrate, I had to rally. The sleep was really hitting me hard at this point. My bed was calling to me. I was fighting to stay awake. I was questioning all of my choices leading up to this point. And maybe I was even starting to hallucinate a little bit. I don't know what was going on here. All right, we are on to number 9, which is Shake It Off by Mingyu. All right, what is my tally at now for songs that immediately suck me in and have me trying to dance while I'm sitting down? Because I feel like it's been the majority of this comeback. I feel like I look really confused here. I wish I could remember what I was thinking. These are my genuine reactions to all of the censored cursing in this song, and I think it is so funny watching it back because I'm not sure why I seem so affronted. I act like I don't curse in my own life on a daily basis, so this is just very funny to me watching it back. I'm like so shocked. I am actually the most creative person you will ever meet in your life, so you're welcome for sharing this with the world. Towards the end of the song, it kind of starts sounding like he's talking into an old transistor radio, and I feel like unfortunately the outro of the song is where he really started to lose me. Oh no, she's got her thinking fingers out, and what she's thinking is that she didn't love it. It sounded a little bit too much like club music, which is not really my taste. It's not a bad song. I do still agree with Past Rara here. It's just not my style. Some profuse apologies to Mingyu for not loving it. And I do promise that I at least tried to like it. Next we have number 10, which is Happy Virus by DK. Big fan of the acoustic guitar in the opening of this song. I also was just generally touched by the song as a whole, but this I'll be there for you line really stuck out to me. I think I must have been hitting a sleep wall at this point because I don't have any super strong reactions caught on camera for this song. It was mostly just 3 minutes of me smiling at my computer and swaying in my seat. I really did think that this song was so sweet. I did find it super relaxing, and I really did enjoy this song overall. At this point, I had officially run out of fingers, so I had to get a little bit creative, but this would be song number 11, which is Destiny by Woozi. Please, the way that his voice immediately brought a smile to my face, and then I followed that up with a very obvious, I love his voice. I wish that I could remember what I was looking at or what I was thinking about in this moment because clearly I feel like this song has a very reflective kind of quality to it, and I'd like to think that I was thinking of something profound. I loved the intro of the electric guitar into the song at this point, and the guitar coupled with his high notes at this point of the song, like I ascended off of this physical plane. I entered the astral plane when I was listening to this. The guitar solo at the end of the song, I clearly loved, very into that. I thought that the song was really beautiful. I think that his voice was very beautiful. I really loved this song as a whole. For the rest of the video, you're going to get more of my fun fingers trying to figure out how to display what track number we're on, but here is 12, which is Shining Star by Vernon. Going in, I had pretty high hopes for this one, and I was not disappointed. First of all, the audio sounds so cool in headphones, the way that it comes through one at a time and like isolates one headphone during the intro. It was sick. I thought that was so cool. Ever since I listened to this for the first time, I've been trying to think of what it reminds me of, and I think the closest thing that I've landed on is Crazy by Seal. I think maybe something about the synth and the composition of both of those songs is what's making them feel similar to me. But I loved this song. This is so different, I feel like, than other solo work that Vernon has put out in the past, but this chorus is so good. I think that this is definitely one of my favorite solos off of the comeback. The synth in this part of the song literally sounds like an alien is about to beam me up. I am so happy. I would like to know why I look so suspicious and low-key kind of scared during the outro, but final thoughts would be that I really loved the drums in this song. I think I've made my point clear. I really liked this song. And the first time I ever listened to it, I stand by what I said. It sounds super cinematic. I could picture this in a movie. Lucky number 13, we have Gemini, which is June's solo. I really loved this intro. I think that it was a super strong hook into the song. And I also really liked the keyboard or piano that was playing like one note at a time. I feel like during parts of the song, we got to hear June singing in a lower register than he normally does, which I thought was really cool. Overall, I really enjoyed this song. Yes, I was starting to run out of steam a little bit at this point, but clearly, even though I was sleepy, it didn't stop me from wanting to dance, which I think really shows how strong the dancey vibes are to this song. The "You Save Me" line was also so sweet. I need a thesaurus because I'm getting kind of tired of just saying that I enjoyed or liked or loved this one, but I did, so. Nearing the end, we have number 14, which is Trigger by Dino. Dino's song could not have come at a better time because I was really, really getting tired at this point, and this song woke me right up straight away. I don't know if I even have any words to describe how much I like this song. I feel like my reactions can kind of just speak for themselves. I love this song more than I ever thought I would, and I was very pleasantly surprised. I am not sure if I'm clapping for Dino for writing this song or just clapping along to the song itself. I was just singing along to this one right away, and I feel like maybe I have a lot to unpack from my facial expressions here towards the end, but I just loved this one. Like, it was insane. I feel like I don't even need to continue to translate for myself here. Like, I've told you, and it's very clear that I loved the song. I will say I do think it was super strong at the end of the album. Second to last, we have the 15th song on the track list, which is Coincidence by Jeonghan. I think that I was kind of on autopilot at this point because I started clapping as soon as the song started, but quickly realized that that was not the vibe. It sent me deep into some contemplation. I do think that the song is beautiful, but putting it at the end when I was so sleepy was devastating to the mission. I did hug myself for comfort again, similar to how I did for Seungkwan's song, or perhaps I was rocking myself to sleep. No one can really say for sure at this point. When the violin came in, I was done for. This literally is probably one of the most beautiful songs on the comeback. I know I've said that a lot of them are beautiful, but this one is got to be top 3 most beautiful. I guess I needed a minute to process, but honestly, I probably was just so sleepy at this point that I couldn't form coherent thoughts. It did make me very tired, but I loved it very much. Okay, we have finally made it to the end. I am fully out of even creative ways to show with my fingers what number we're on, but this is 16th, which is Jungle by Coups. Okay, the opening did scare the crap out of me, but in my defense, I was almost asleep after Jeonghan's angelic voice, and this shocked me back to the land of the living. I literally had to pause it. I needed a minute to recover because going from Coincidence to Jungle was like getting whiplash. Maybe it's just because it was 5 o'clock in the morning, but I was shocked. Getting back into it with some hesitancy because maybe I'm still asleep, maybe this is a dream, I don't know. Alright, fuck it, we ball. I'm awake now. It did take me a second to fully get into this song coming into it off of Coincidence, but once I got into it, I really loved this one. Coups and Vernon typically have my favorite verses from the hip hop unit, so I was not surprised that I loved this one so much. I think this was very true to Coups' style, so I really appreciated that while I was listening, and I think it was a really strong end to the album as a whole. Just saying here again that I think that that song was very Coups and I really enjoyed it. And then I'm just thanking 17 for the comeback because I thought that the whole thing was great.
It's now about 4:30 p.m. on the 26th, and I've listened to the comeback 2 times all the way through, and I'm ready to actually discuss some of my thoughts. So I am going to try and keep this as short as possible because my last comeback reaction was 30 minutes long, and Birthday is almost 3 times as long as Spill the Feels was, so I really don't want this to turn into like an hour-and-a-half long video. Once again, just a reminder that I have no musical background or specialized knowledge. I just love listening to music and I really love K-pop, and my channel is just my place to talk about all of the things that I love as they relate to K-pop, so you can take my opinions with a grain of salt, I guess, but this is just how I feel. Now that it is daylight and I've listened to the songs all twice, at least twice. Some of the group songs I've listened to more than twice now. Let's get into it, I guess. Overall, I really enjoyed this comeback. I think that the group did an incredible job with Birthday, and I struggle so much to say that, Birthday. I just want to say birthday, but Birthday. I think the group did a really amazing job, and I am so glad that we actually got 13 solo songs because it gave every member a chance to really showcase their distinct voice, which I really loved, and it also felt like we were celebrating each individual member as well as celebrating the group as a whole, and I really liked that. I am very proud of 17 and all of the work that they've done over the last 10 years. I've only been a carrot for 2 years, just because I only just got into K-pop 2 years ago, so I haven't even been a carrot for even half their time as artists, but I'm incredibly proud of them and the work that they have done here on Birthday, and I just want to say happy 10-year anniversary, 17. Happy 10-year birthday. It's a good day. Okay, real quick, let's run through the 16 songs on this comeback. Starting with number 1, HBD. I think that it was a very strong opener for the album. It had a very celebratory feel to it, obviously. I really loved that they wrote a happy birthday song. I think that that was really fun and a really fun way to help celebrate 10 years as a group. It had kind of like a, I don't know if I would say late 90s, but definitely like an early 2000s kind of vibe to it. Like early 2000s alternative pop, alt pop. It felt like an old song with new energy. I don't know how to phrase that, but it was a really fun song, really strong opener. I really loved it. Second song on the track list was Thunder, which is the title track for this comeback. I love it more and more every time I listen to it. The beat of that song is like simply addictive. I don't know a better way to describe it. I love it. I can't whistle. I wish I could whistle because I love the whistling part in the song. I will say I feel like Thunder has kind of like a club music sort of vibe to it, which normally does not work for me. If you remember my thoughts from Eyes on You from Spill the Feels, I didn't love it because it felt a little bit too club music for me, but for some reason it really worked for me here with Thunder. I really love this song. I think it is such a strong title track for this comeback. It is fun. It's just fun. Anyway, big fan of Thunder. I will be listening to this one at the gym a lot, I think. It's a very good like hype song. Okay, third on the track list was Bad Influence, which I really liked at 4 o'clock in the morning, and I don't dislike it now. I still like the song. However, I feel like the silences that they've inserted to like censor the cursing kind of take away some of my enjoyment of the song after listening to it a couple more times. I wish that they would just curse because the silences are a little bit weird, in my opinion. I think I would like it a lot more if there was an explicit version that was released that actually just had the curse words. I know sometimes, or at least it's been my experience with like a couple of TXT albums, the CD that I bought at Target has like cursing in it, but on Spotify there is no explicit version. When I go to buy a physical copy later this week, I hope that maybe the CDs will have cursing, and I don't know why that is. I don't know if there's like some kind of reason why K-pop groups typically don't put explicit tracks on Spotify, but they will put it on the CD. I'm not sure, but I honestly hope that they do just curse on the CD because I really like the beat of Bad Influence. I think it's a really great song, but the silences, like the way they chose to censor the cursing is just a little bit weird now that I've listened to it a couple of times, so. Fourth on the track list and the first solo on the album is Skyfall by The 8 or Mingyu. In my opinion, this was another Mingyu Vernon lyric collab winner. I have really enjoyed the music that these two have collabed on over the last 6 months that have come out, specifically like starting with Stardust at the end of last year. I really love Minghao's voice. I specifically like in the song how there's a contrast between verses where he's just singing and then verses when he's singing with the beat. And I also really love the beat of this song. So overall, this song was definitely a winner for me. I really enjoyed it. It has a very dancey kind of vibe to it. I really enjoyed Skyfall. Fifth on the track list was Joshua's solo, which was called Fortunate Change. The song was such a vibe. I don't know, this one was just very laid back and chill, in my opinion. I really enjoyed it. It made me feel like warm and glowy inside, so it was like a very relaxing sort of song, maybe is a word that I could use to describe it, but I enjoyed it a lot. Sixth on the set list was Wonwoo's solo, which is called 99.9%, and I love this song so much. It made me so happy listening to it. My first thought is that this sounds like it belongs in a drama. It sounds like a soundtrack to a movie. I don't know, like I'm getting movie montage playing in my head. I don't know what kind of movie, but it's so good. I feel like anytime I'm having a bad day, I can listen to this song and it will instantly make me feel a little bit better. So it has a very positive vibe. I really enjoyed it. I also really loved getting to hear this side of Wonwoo's voice. I feel like this is a little bit different than any other solo work I've heard by Wonwoo before. So anyway, I just really enjoyed this solo from Wonwoo. Seventh on the track list was Raindrops by Seungkwan. And I literally wrote, this might be my fave solo, IDK, IDK, IDK. So I think that kind of sums it up. I just thought that this song was so beautiful, and I think that Seungkwan's vocals were very emotional in this solo, and I loved the instrumentals of this song so much. This song feels very hopeful to me. I think it has a very hopeful kind of sound, and it also makes me feel like I can do anything. I don't really know how to explain that better, but it's like a very empowering kind of song for me, personally anyway, and I just really loved it. I feel like I'm gonna need to listen to all of the solos again before I can definitively say which one I feel like is my favorite. It would be very difficult to pick a favorite. However, Seungkwan's is definitely in my top 3, probably. I love Raindrops a lot. I think that I will be listening to this one a lot. Eighth on the track list is Hoshi's solo, which is called Damage. And if I am recalling correctly, I did not 100% love it when I listened to it this morning. So the question is, did I enjoy it more on a second listen through? And the answer is maybe. I feel really bad because I want to absolutely 100% love every single one of their solos, because I have this, like, if you ever watched my K-pop 101 video where I had like a little bit of commentary on biases, I don't like anyone to feel left out. So I don't want to say that I didn't like this song. I think I liked it a little bit better listening to it the second time through. I definitely loved the Hoshi and Woozi duo comeback beam from earlier in the summer. I loved the callback to their 96ers song in the intro that Hoshi did, so I really liked that. I liked Hoshi's actual parts of the song, and I liked the beat a lot better listening to it a second time today. I think the thing that throws me off, honestly, is that part that's just repeating, like, burning to your mind's desire. I think that's what throws me off. I think that's what I don't love about the song. Everything else I think I like about it. It's just that repetitive burning to your mind's desire. I don't think I like that part very much. Hoshi, I'm sorry. I'm sorry that I don't love it. I feel bad. However, I have to keep it real on Ra's K-pop spot. I can't lie. So, I mean, I could lie, but I won't, so. Ninth on the track list was Mingyu's solo, which is called Shake It Off. And it was another one that I did not love when I listened to it this morning. And I still don't think I love it after listening to it a second time. And I'm so sorry. I feel so bad. But this one, it feels to me like very club music, but whereas Thunder felt club that worked for me, Shake It Off feels like club that's not working for me. And I feel so bad. I wanted so much to love every single song off of this comeback. And I wouldn't say that I dislike this song, but it's probably not one that I will seek out to listen to often. Mingyu, I'm so sorry. I really tried to love it. Once again, this is one that I kind of hope on the CD, like, he'll just curse. The bleep sound that they put in to censor the cursing, similar to Bad Influence, kind of took me out of the song a little bit while I'm listening, so maybe I'll like it more if on the CD, once I get it later this week, he's actually just saying the curse words that were censored. I think that might help my enjoyment. 10th on the track list was DK's solo, which is called Happy Virus, and I really loved this one. This one felt super personal to Carrots because DK calls himself our happy virus. So I really want to thank DK for that, and Woozi as well. I know that Woozi helped write the lyrics for this song, but this one just made me feel so happy when I was listening to it. It's a song that really makes me feel like everything's gonna be okay. And I also really, really love the instrumentals of this song, especially the parts with the guitar. So I just really enjoyed the song. It really like lifts up your spirits while you're listening to it, so it's a good one. 11th was Woozi's solo, which is called Destiny. I found it pretty sweet that Bumzu actually wrote the lyrics for this one for Woozi, but this was a beautiful solo. I think that Woozi's vocals were very beautiful here, and I think my favorite part was actually the guitar solo at the end of the song. I think that was such a powerful way to end this solo. It was a good song. 12th on the track list was Vernon's solo, which is called Shining Star, and I truly feel like this song belongs in a movie. It felt very cinematic while I was listening to it. Specifically, I was picturing like some kind of action movie montage while I'm listening to it, so I really, really enjoyed this one. This one had a very early 2000s vibe, which I really loved. It reminded me a lot of the kind of music that I listened to growing up, and I think that this solo sounds the most like the type or style of music that I listen to when I'm not listening to K-pop, if that makes sense. I also really loved the drums in this song. The drums were probably my favorite instrumental part of this song, but I really loved it. This one is also probably in my top 3 as far as solos from the comeback goes. I liked this one for a lot of reasons. 13th on the track list was June's solo, which is called Gemini. And fun fact, I am very into astrology, and June is the member with the birthday that's the closest to mine. So I just celebrated a birthday and June's is coming up. I am not a Gemini, but I was supposed to be, so I just thought that the title was very fun. Overall, this is one that really made me want to dance. I really enjoyed this song. I love June's vocals, and I feel like this song specifically really showcased how strong they are, because I know that he doesn't often have like super huge solo parts in group songs. Anyway, I just really love this song, and I really liked the way that June's vocals were showcased in this solo of his. 14th on the track list was Dino's solo, which was called Trigger, and I loved this one. I feel like the beat was very reminiscent of Wait, which was Dino's first solo mixtape from 2023, maybe? I just really like Dino's takes on solo work. I think that it seems pretty clear now that he has a consistent style, so I will be excited to listen to more Dino solo work in the future. I have loved all of the solo work I've heard by him so far. I also really hope that there's a dance for this. I, in the past, have loved Dino's danceology videos. I think that he is probably one of my favorite dancers in all of K-pop, so I really hope that there's a dance for this one. 15th on the track list was Jeonghan's solo, which is called Coincidence. I do feel like you get a little bit of whiplash going from Trigger to this one, because it's like super upbeat song, and then Coincidence is very like vocal ballad kind of song. I feel like this song is just so full of like longing and yearning. Like the pining that I feel listening to this song is very tangible. Beautiful vocals. I don't know, I feel like maybe wistful is the way that I would describe this one. It's like romantic but sad. I still really enjoyed it. And then last we had the 16th song on the track list, which was Coups' solo, which is called Jungle. And if you want to talk about whiplash going from Trigger to Coincidence, going from Coincidence to Jungle is like even worse. But I enjoyed Jungle. I feel like Jungle is so consistent and true to Coups' style of rapping, and I really appreciated that. I think it was also a really strong end to the album. I really enjoyed it. Okay, and that's it. Those are all of my thoughts for all of the songs off of this album. I hope that I kept it short enough. I hope that this video is not too long. There's a lot more that I could say about all of these songs, but I really just wanted to kind of hit the highlights of my thoughts for today's video. But anyway, thank you for sticking around and listening to me talk about music for the last however long this video winds up being, if you are still here. Please remember to like and subscribe to Rara's K-pop Spot if you enjoyed this video and you want to see me react to other comebacks in the future. I actually really enjoy making these kinds of videos. I know this is only the second one that I've done, but I really love listening to music. Obviously, I started an entire YouTube channel just because I love K-pop so much, but I have found that I actually really like listening to comebacks with this, I don't want to say a critical ear because I'm not a music critic, but just listening to them and thinking about them a little bit deeper than just listening on the surface level, and kind of having a place and a space to gather my thoughts and kind of talk through them a little bit, I really enjoy. So if you also enjoyed it, like and subscribe, tell all your friends. Tell me in the comments what your favorite song from this comeback is, if you have also listened to all of the songs. And once again, happy 10-year debut anniversary to 17. Thank you for putting out such a wonderful album. Thank you for being here for 10 years. I know I've only been here for 2, but they've been a really fun 2 years, so thank you for everything, I guess. Alright, I guess that's it for today. 오늘은 여기까지. Thank you for watching. 봐주셔서 감사합니다. 안녕 친구들. And I feel like maybe I don't have that many bloopers. Maybe I have a lot of bloopers. I don't know. It feels like at this present moment that there won't be that much to put in the blooper reel, but I guess we'll see. So anyway, 이제 블루퍼리로 이동할 수 있습니다. Enjoy the bloopers. 즐기세요.
You only thought that we were done with voiceovers for this video, but I have one more. In case you ever wondered what goes on behind the scenes of Rara's K-pop Spot when I'm setting up a shot and trying to decide where the camera should go and how my hair should be, this is a little bit of what that chaos looks like. I even practiced my crap dancing, okay?
I didn't like that. Whoa! Oh, my arm hurts from holding the phone out. Welcome to Rara's K-pop Spot. My arm! Well, that's not true. And that it continues to have on my life. Just like my dog, who barks in almost every single one of my videos. Maybe I need a thesaurus. Do I know any other words other than fun? I think it's a really fun... What is the word I'm looking for? That sounded a little bit weird. Maybe I shouldn't talk about that at all. I don't know why I pointed at the camera when my notes are down here. The phrasing of that sounded weird too. What if my brain worked? Okay, in my defense, I woke up at 3:45 in the morning for this comeback. I did go back to sleep for a few hours, but... 죽이세요?